Good evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started for the evening. Thank you all for coming out for the March Park Heights Renaissance community meeting, where we're going to focus, of course, on History Month. Do we have any representatives from any of the electeds here now? Jasmine, would you introduce yourself? Okay. Everyone knows you, Jasmine. We also have representatives from Baltimore City Police Department. Officer McBride is here. Reps from Baltimore Housing. I saw Kelly Bacala, who is a stable here with us as well. And what about virtually? Do we have any elected officials in the virtual room? Any city officials?
Yeah,
If you're a city official and you're joining, hi, Sarge.
Yep. Good evening, Sergeant Rashad Hammond, Northwestern District, Baltimore.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Yes.
So we have Northern District and Northwest District represented here as well, as both districts cover Park Heights. I think we covered everybody. Anybody else? Just put a note in the chat if you're joining us online from a city agency or an elected official. Anybody? Okay, so we're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and get started. The first thing we want to talk about is not people calling the phone while I'm looking at the agenda. The first thing we want to talk about is the Spider Anderson Festival. As many of you have attended or are aware, for the last 4 years, we've held this festival on Park Heights the week before Preakness. This year, we are doing it on Preakness Day. And Jade, you want to come up and talk about that a little bit? So this year is going to be on Preakness Day, where we'll have live streaming. We'll also, sorry, I got to stay in my own frame. We'll have live streaming of the Preakness Stakes at the festival. We will have the road closures again. But we're planning to have an amazing day filled with family fun for people of all ages, to celebrate History Park Heights style, despite the fact that the Preakness will be in Laurel this year. So Jay's going to come on up and talk about the vendors and the opportunities.
Yep, I'm going to show y'all a quick video of what you missed last year if you weren't able to attend. All right, so that's just a little piece of what the Spider Anderson Festival has in store. So anybody that's interested in being a vendor, applications are open now. You can go to gsafest.eventbrite.com. The cost to vend is $150, which includes a $50 reservation fee if your business is located in the master plan area. The festival is the biggest economic driver for Park Heights, keeping dollars circulating in the community, and it serves a huge, diverse audience while making new connections with local entrepreneurs. So we're looking for artists, food trucks, unique goods and services, and everything in between. So make sure to screenshot and spread the word, and stay tuned in on our socials for all updates.
So who's excited about the festival this year? I'm really excited. We haven't released, of course, our headliners for this year. But based on, what we've done in the past, I'm sure that we're gonna have an exciting lineup. And we want Park Heights, of course, to show up all ages. Last year, we had everybody from toddlers to folks I'm clear were in their 80s dancing in the middle of Park Heights Avenue. So we want to bring that back with even more of you guys. If you missed it, don't miss it again. Before I get into the next part, I do want to acknowledge that we're having this meeting currently in a neighborhood called the Park Lane community. So every month when we have these meetings, we move around. And the reason for that is to make it accessible for people in all of the 12 neighborhoods that make up Park Heights. Tonight we're in Park Lane, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the leader of the Park Lane Community Association, Miss Diane.
So glad that you're in our backyard. I just want to thank everyone for coming, and it's such a pleasure for us to be able to.
Miss Diane, come up here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Is this a mic?
She just ran with it. Well, the people at home are watching
I
too.
forgot about you folks on vacation. My name is Diane Tunstall. I am the new president of the Park Lane Neighborhood Association. I've been in this neighborhood all of my life. I left and came back, and this neighborhood is near and dear to me. We're trying to do a lot of things in Park Heights, and that's why I was so excited when the Park Heights Renaissance organization said they were going to be in our location. So I think what I'd like to see us doing more things together, combining our resources, combining our energy, and make this thing work, because Park Heights has been ignored for so long, and I think this is our year, and I think things are going to happen. I just want some of the members of our neighborhood association to stand up, please. This table and Marvell, could some of our members stand up? Gary just came in. Hey, Gary, here's your seat right there. So we thank you all for being here, and we look forward to doing a lot of great things with the organization.
And just want to add to that, we do have someone from your association also joining us online.
Yes, Mrs. Sharon Spence.
Yeah.
She's our past president. She's online. Hey, Miss Spence. And she's plugged into the virtual, and we wouldn't be as far as we have gotten without Miss Spence. She has been our lifeline, our bloodline, our everything. Thank you, Miss Spence.
And the Park Lane Association actually meets here the third Wednesday of the month.
Yes.
So we kind of hijacked their meeting time.
Hijacked.
But because in the spirit of
Just playing.
collaboration, we are working together, and glad that you can make it to the PHR meeting this month, because we're right here in your backyard. So we'll work on our scheduling for the future. Thank you, Ms. Diane. Next, I'm gonna have Valerie, if you can come up. Okay, we may have to move some things around. This is a very fluid situation. One of our presenters is en route, so she should be walking in the door in a minute. We're going to pivot. That's what we do. While we wait for our other presenter, for the city agencies, Officer McBride, Sergeant Hammond, if you guys have any updates from the district you'd like to share.
Either one of their support.
Folks at home, please keep your mics muted. We can hear everything.
Oh, I don't have nothing to add. Usually I go over stats.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it doesn't matter. Everybody's doing great. Everybody's fine, right? So the crime in this area is actually pretty well. So I don't have to go over the stats because of the type of meeting that it is, but it's nothing significant, I would say. I will say, quick plug, that this school is collecting Easter eggs and candy. So if anybody wants to donate, I'm always at the school. I try to help them out as much as I can. I told them I would start begging for them. So if you want to get my number at the end, I'll come pick them up. You can give it to me however you want. We have a commander's meeting every second Wednesday at the district at 7:00. To meet our Major Saunders. If you have any questions for her, she's a hoot. If you know, you know. So she'll answer any questions that you have. Other than that, I'll be in the back if you have any questions.
Thank you. And Sergeant Hammond, you want to unmute? I don't know if you have anything to share or just introduction at least.
Oh, yes. Good evening. Just wanted to share on the meeting. I put my information in the chat. If anyone has any questions, concerns for the police department, for Northwest District, or just stuff that they want to share, please reach out, please text, please email. We always want the information, and we always want to be able to show up for where we're needed, and we can't do that without the community. So we got to work together. We do have clubs, and I believe the Northern District probably have some too. It's for any car. We just looking to safeguard uh, people's property as much as possible. So if you need a club, want to have it come to your community meeting, just text me, email me, and we'll give a club while supplies last. And that's pretty much it. Any questions for me or concerns, just let me know.
So if you want to just go ahead and put your information in the chat, but also for the people in the room that are in the Northwest District, if there's an email or general email or something that you want to provide, you can go ahead and do that too.
Yep. I put it in the chat already. My email is in there, my work cell, and then the Northwest District general email is in there. We check both daily. So please reach out. And oh yes, is it somebody did ask, are there any clarifications for the clubs? No, it's any vehicle. It's just not Kia Hondas anymore. As long as you Baltimore City resident or work or live in Baltimore, we'll take care of you.
Okay, thank you, Sarge.
You're welcome.
Okay,
I need to make an announcement.
For- go ahead.
A cream Honda, you're parked in someone's driveway, and they're asking that you move, or you may be towed. A cream Honda parked along the street, you're blocking someone's driveway.
Okay, we don't want anyone get told. I take it no one virtually joining us and also parking in front of someone's driveway. Good stuff. Okay, so now we're going to swing back around and talk to some of our fabulous community leaders who are leading the charge, as this is Women's History Month. We wanted to spotlight two of our nonprofits in Park Heights that are doing great work for our youth, focused on our youth in different areas, but collectively they're doing major work in our community. So I want to introduce, just tell you, Val. Everyone knows Val, but Valerie Matthews, the executive director for Catherine Family and Youth Services, who also runs the after-school program in Park Heights Academy, where we are located today. So she gets to deal with the young people every day, and also does a food distribution once a month on the parking lot. She'll tell you more about that, but for everyone who knows about the food distribution that happens here on the parking lot, this is the lady behind it all. And also we have Danelle Pender, who is the executive director and founder for Excellence and Ambition, another one of our community nonprofits that works with our young people in the area of arts, media, entrepreneurship, and workforce development. So we're gonna just have a quick segment with them. I may need you guys to stand up. I was gonna have you sit, but I don't think people can see you. You're not that tall. So we're gonna go ahead and just dive right in. If you want to go first, Valerie, just talk to the folks and let them know about your organization, why you founded it, and what your goals are in the community.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Valerie Matthews. I am the executive director and co-founder of Catherine's Family and Youth Services. This past Friday, we just celebrated our 11-year anniversary. Thanks for been operating and making impact directly in this community for really about 13 years, but on paper, 11 years. My sister and I, we founded the organization in honor of our late grandmother, Catherine, hence the name. And everybody calls me Catherine, and that's okay because I know you're talking to me. I know you do, but my name is Valerie.
I do it all the time.
Yes, i.e. Tarina. But we started the organization in honor of our grandmother, who was a huge advocate for homeless and battered women starting over. She spent about 25 years working at the YWCA, which is now the Baltimore Leadership School for Young Women. So that building within itself has its own legacy and track record. And to know that it all started with her being there and transferring a lot of the work that she did in her work in the community. My grandmother had an open door policy on Cuthbert Avenue. Anybody was welcome. If you need to come and shower, if you needed business clothes, if you needed bus fare, whatever you needed to sleep on our floor, we oftentimes rolled over, and it might have been a family in our house with us. That's how we grew up. She helped anybody. She had an open door policy, and that is our motto. Catherine's door is always open, no matter what a family may be in need of. Even if we don't have those direct resources or connections, we navigate families and children, whoever is in need, to make sure they have exactly what it is that they need. So we have been here at Park Heights Academy for 3 school years. Since we've been here, we have been operating our free food pantry and diaper hub. The diaper hub and food pantry runs every 4th Monday of the month. Prior to us being here, we used to operate every week. But for a lot of you guys, our operations went from 0 to 1,000 after the pandemic. Last year alone, we served over 250,000 pounds of food. That equates to 2 grocery bags for every single person, at least about 1,000 people every month. So just so you have a visual of what that looks like. We provide fresh produce, non-perishables, formula, diapers, wipes. We have on-site resources. We also have clothing available for families. We even have toiletries available for families. In addition to our food pantry and diaper hub, we offer an annual Thanksgiving event, Christmas, back to school. We partner with the school to do trunk or treats, math nights, literacy nights. We assist with the attendance incentives here to get kids to come to school. We're giving out popsicles and fruit snacks and lollipops just to get the kids to come to school. So we do whatever it is that we have to do to get the job done. And that's really the bottom line. And most people know us from the kids. We started out serving kids. We started with after school programs and summer programs. And once the pandemic hit, that's kind of when we realized folks needed a little more than a place for their kids to go to. Families needed a job. Families needed internet. Families needed everything under the sun. And we found ourselves navigating through areas that we never navigated before. So since the pandemic, we just been on the ground, rolling, connecting families to whatever it is that they need. Typically during our food distributions, we'll have SNAP here. We have mental health agencies here, PRP agencies that can assist families with rent assistance, utilities, you name it. You can even get STI, HIV testing done, or your blood work done and get a gift card, for getting those services done when you're here. So you name it, it's probably happening at our food distribution. Not only do we do all of those things, we also have a community refrigerator. It's called Catherine's Community Fridge. And if some of you guys were lost, you came in on a parking lot, our community refrigerator is located on the parking lot. That refrigerator gets 100 to 150 walk-ups every single day of people looking for food directly in this community. You would think that doesn't apply here. It's happening right here in Park Heights. People are hungry all day, every day. Even if it's an apple, a sandwich, a cup of soup, folks are coming to that refrigerator to seek food. It helps us fill in that gap because we're only open that 4th Monday of the month. We wish that we could do it more, but we can truly only serve once a month because of the volume of people and the volume of food that it takes us to prepare for that one day every month. We pick up donations in partnership with the Maryland Food Bank. We have 3 or 4 different grocery stores that we pick up food from on a daily basis. And just because we're not having a food distribution, that does not mean food is not being distributed on this parking lot. You can get food on this parking lot probably just about every day, Monday through Friday, even if it's just a bag of salad and a pack of chicken. You will be able to get something on this parking lot. So for those that have benefited from our services, or partners like a lot of you guys in this room that send families our way, that send new moms our way, we appreciate it because a lot of times people don't know that we are right here. We are right here in the heart of the community, in the heart of Park Heights, helping families navigate through these tough times. And that's why we do what we did. In honor of my grandmother, Catherine Matthews, who started this legacy. And we are continuing the legacy and making sure that her impact and her footprint still exists right here in the Park Heights community. And I have been in this role the whole time of our existence. But prior to doing this full time, I used to work in Baltimore City Public Schools. I've worked at other nonprofits and served on boards. I also served on a board at Mount Washington Pediatric Hospital, and a list of other things. So my impact doesn't just stay here in Park Heights. This is a citywide initiative, and what we do is impactful all across the board. We also serve as a youth work site. We have young people that work here all school year, and throughout the summer months, we offer free summer camp, after school program, and those community outreach events. There's anything that we can do to support the agencies that are here or partners that are here to help bridge gaps for food access, for maternal health, you name it. If there's a way that we can work together, I'm open to doing it. Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. That was amazing. And when she says every day, that I can attest to that every day. And when I call her every time as a partner, hey, this just came out. People end up on your doorstep. People enter our office. Anytime we've had a need, even in another school, we had kids that were having problems with washing uniforms. And so we had a school aide that was willing to help them with the laundry. But you need detergent. Who comes through with the Tide Pods? That would be Valerie. So, that wasn't in this school. That was in another community school. But it just goes to show how she's always reaching out. She and her sister, they're both amazing. And you can find them at everything Park Heights. Just everything.
Oh,
Everything.
Yeah. And one more thing. Just because our anniversary is over, we are still raising money.
I was,
So I just want to put that in. And this is citywide. The Maryland Food Bank now has a new rule that all food, and you're going to see this happening, folks it's getting ready to trickle down to everybody. There's a $500 fee associated with food distributions now. So all of those places that you see giving out those boatloads of fresh produce and things like that, those churches and agencies now have to pay $500 a month to access that. So we are getting ready to start seeing pantries close their doors, limit what they're offering and how often they may be offering it or not at all. So if you would like to donate or volunteer, share the work that we are doing. If you cannot give yourself, when those taxes hit, you want to run it back and give us a check, we will gladly take it. Our P.O. Box is 11580 21229. You can write checks out to Catherine's Family and Youth Services. You can go on our website at www.catherinesfamilyandyouthservices.org, because we have thousands of families that's going to come to this door in this parking lot one way or another. So if you can help us help by supporting our mission and the work that we do, we always need extra hands to help on food distribution days. We always could use hands to help with homework and reading and the after school program. And even extra hands around the school is so much that needs to be done in this building, and we could use the support and the help of the community. You can visit our website, www.catherinesfamilyandyouthservices.org.
And see, I did it again. And Valerie will be around for the meeting. So for those of you who didn't capture that information or want to get more information so that you can connect and donate, please connect with her. And we're also going to make sure that your information is also put in our chat for the folks at home. So I know that someone probably asked that question already, but we will be dropping the links to both of these nonprofits, because they are nonprofits. We're always looking for money. Park Heights Renaissance, you got 5 on it. Like, we're gonna talk about that a little later. But the only way we can continue to do this work is with the donations and the support of communities. So next up, I want to have Danelle come up. See, I call her Danielle, and I know her name is Danelle.
Okay, everybody do. Hi, everybody. I'm so blessed to be in your presence this evening. Thank you for showing up. And I want to thank our young people that are here. Our photography program has stepped up and
Our
come
young
into
people.
place. Alicia company is That Girl Media, and we got Deshaun back there, Viper. We also have Kimora and Dreamers on their way. They run our event planning committee, and so they are here representing our young people in the program.
For a second, so
They keep working, but
just a second, we won't miss that much. I just want to have the folks to see you guys. It's important to see our young people in action. We can leave 30 seconds, 30 seconds of credit. There you go. Come on over. Say hi to our young folks at home. Come on up. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank
But
you.
we need to celebrate our young people. They're doing phenomenal work. Thank you. Now y'all can go back and work. Of course. This is the purpose of the day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so now you can go into your speech.
My name is Danelle Pender. I'm the founder of Excellence in Ambition, Inc. We are a nonprofit organization headquartered here in Park Heights. Me and my husband, it was the summer of 2012. I worked for multiple nonprofits. At that point, I worked for a very large nonprofit, and I managed a summer camp of over 300 young people, kids, elementary and middle school, and a couple of high schoolers, youth workers too. And they were, my children, my 4 daughters, 3 at the time, were tearing down my house, tearing down my steps, running up and down the steps, doing everything. We had cousins and neighborhood kids all in my house. I said, I can't run a summer camp, then come home to all this. We're gonna have to do something. We need some structure in here. And so with, of course, my after school program and camp hat, we started programming in my home. We started our first store out of our house. At that time, we lived in East Baltimore. My family is from Park Heights. But at that time, we lived in East Baltimore. And out of that summer of starting that little store in our house, we developed Excellence in Ambition, Inc. And it has now grown to serve over 2,000 young people and over the years. And thankfully, 20% of those young people have started businesses in Baltimore City. Those who started out with us during the Freddie Gray time like that, Alicia's one of them, started her business in 2015, 16, and now you guys can see where she is. She's a Morgan graduate, and she's working developing documentaries as well as Deshaun. He came on with us. What year did you come on with us? 2021. And so they 20% of our young people that come to us start a business, and they are not just starting, but they're maintaining businesses. So our youth entrepreneurship program is our flagship program. Young people come to us with an idea or concept, and again, we work with age 14 to 21. They come to us with an idea or concept. We help them flush out the idea. We teach them how to pitch. They have 5 to 6 weeks in our program, and then they have a pitch contest. At their pitch contest, if they win, they earn $1,500. For first place, second place, $500, third place, $200. They get a photo shoot for headshots. We also help with inventory, and we hold on to them up to age 21. If they come to us at 14, we still hold on to them up to age 21, helping them to maintain their business. We've had young people pay for their own prom, young people pay for their college education. We have, young people who have babies now, but we are, again, for those who need help with diapers, we send them right over there to Catherine's. When we have young people who want to help with the food distribution, where they go? Over there to Catherine's. Because we also do community leadership and workforce development. So those who want to do community leadership specifically, they want to host events and activities. We have an event coming up. Our annual Spring Fling event is going to be in partnership with Park Lane Community Association at Friends of Edgecombe Park. And they host this event. This will be our 3rd year hosting this event, where they're going to have their egg hunt and all of the fun stuff, the face painting, the moon bounce, all that great stuff. But I don't do none of that planning. Our young people plan these events. They implement these events. My role is to support them, make sure that the permit is in.
Yeah.
Let me know where it's gonna be. In Edgecombe Park. What's the address?
It's not an actual physical address.
Right.
It's behind Finney Avenue at Finney and Edgecombe.
Right.
It's an
right
actual
behind.
very nice park. It's been renovated.
Yes.
We've done a lot of work there. We even have an amphitheater.
Yes.
Some people don't even know that. It's gorgeous.
Yes.
And so that location is owned by Rec and Parks. And they manage it, and we have a garden there as well.
Yes.
So we have so much that you all don't know about in Park Heights. There's so many good things in Park Heights, and a lot of people are oblivious to them.
Exactly. And last year with the ribbon cutting, our young man helped to build the planters and help with the garden. That's another portion of what they've been doing with the community leadership portion of our organization. Workforce development program is where we teach young people business professionalism and business skills, meaning that we don't want them to just start a business. We want them to know how to be professional in that business. We want them to know how to get a job and keep a job. So of course they understand how to dress to impress and have an interview and have a resume. But once you get to work, how do you act with your coworkers? How do you have conflict resolution? How do you ensure that the company atmosphere is right when you go in those places? So again, we hire year round as well. We are youth work site. We take on about 50 youth every year for youth work. So we hold on to about 30 of them through the school year and continue to do that process. This year we're bringing it on construction. Where's Marvin? Hey Marvin, that's yes. Long time. My brother in the community. We bring a workforce development program. We just hired a new workforce development coordinator, EJ, and she is actually working with another organization and with Marvin as well, making sure that our young people have job opportunities. Because we don't want them to just come in and we give them the resources and the information. We want to then let them actually interview and get jobs, right? And so we are bringing on in our new facility, which I'm about to touch on. In our facility, we're going to be bringing on construction to teach our young people pre-apprenticeship opportunities. So they'll be learning construction in areas of HVAC, electrical, and plumbing. So they'll be certified. They'll be getting their OSHA 10 next year. All of our young people in our program get CPR and first aid certified, as well as mental health first aid. Thank you, Mr. Bora, for the mental health first aid support. So we are.
It takes a village.
It takes a village, and I can just point to all the people in the room that have helped serve our young people over the years. We are actually now under contract for our building.
Tell them when you are, then when you go.
We are going to be at the corner, pretty much the corner of Belvedere and Park Heights, right across from Pimlico. Y'all know the burnout. Y'all know them right across the street from the chicken spot, right next to the liquor store. And so we are in the midst of getting our capital stack together for that purchase and the renovation of that building. It's going to be a 2-year project. If you would like to support us in building our economic youth development center, that will have 4 classrooms, a cafe, a media studio, and also rental space for the community. It's going to be at that location. And so you can go to our website at www.ambitiousyouth.org. Y'all heard that? www.ambitiousyouth.org. You can also follow us on all the social medias, excellence_ambition, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
Do you do TikTok dances?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. But we also focus on the arts as well. So support our young people. When you go to our website, go to the Be More You store, the Be More You project. You can actually buy their merchandise. You can go to their various websites and purchase from them. Support our youth entrepreneurs. They work so hard. It's hard to have a business.
Let them know where you are now.
Where we are now? Okay. So we are at Langston Hughes on Tuesdays. Our YBC, which is the Youth Build Community Program, and our Youth Entrepreneurship Program operates at Langston Hughes on Tuesdays. And we're at CC Jackson in partnership with Moane, Mayor's Office of African American Male Engagement. We're on the 2nd floor at CC Jackson on Thursdays. That's where they film their podcast and they do manufacturing and the arts. So any visual arts, they work on their manufacturing, their products and their services. And then we host our events over at Liberty Rec and Tech Center off of Garrison Avenue Boulevard.
Yeah.
On Main.
Main Avenue.
On Main, yes. We're over there in partnership with Ms. Kim Trueheart, where our young people, our young ladies also support her administratively on a regular basis. I think I hit everything. I tried to hit everything.
I tried to remember everything you were supposed to hit.
I got it late.
Look, it takes a village. Do we remember everything? So, before we leave this segment, again, there are a lot of individual questions that we're happy to have you field these young women for. But are there any big questions anyone wants to ask of them before they take their seats and you can just, come up to them individually? Anyone? That means you did a great job. Great job. Thank you. So when we talk about women's history, we could go back and look 100 years ago, but we could also look right now because this is what history in the making really looks like. Folks that are doing this work, women that are doing this work to prepare the next generation. So there is legacy. So thank you, ladies, for coming. And thank you for always answering all my calls. You're great partners, the Park Heights Renaissance and the Park Heights community. So thank you. Thank you.
Flyers for the upcoming event.
Okay.
So Kimura and Dream, they're gonna pass off flyers, so they're gonna have them available for you guys to collect them.
Awesome.
Again, that's an event in partnership with Parkland Community Neighborhood Association.
And so when you get our robocalls and you see all these flyers and you're like, oh, they're calling me again, or they're sending me another email. This is why there is so much going on. So I know it's easy. I get them on my personal device, on my work device. Sometimes I want to just scroll past them too. But when you look at this stuff, you start to really see how many resources are available in this community for people of all ages. So just bear with us while we try to figure out who wants to receive what kind of updates and notifications. But we're trying to aggressively get as much information out to you all so that people are aware. For so many years, people didn't know what was going on. Stuff just happened. Development just happened. And everyone looked around and said, well, where did that come from? Why didn't I know? Was there a meeting about it? So that's why we're sending out those robocalls. That's why we're sending out the emails. And that's why we're putting stuff on social media constantly to keep people informed of what's going on here in all of Park Heights. One moment. Okay. So next we're gonna have Miss Deborah Wolford come up. She has a quick pitch.
Quick. Hey, family. Yeah, very, very quick. In honor of Women's Month and Social Work Month, for those who are social workers, I'm gonna give you a shout out for me. But for those who do not know, women did not have the right to vote until 1920. Just to give you a little background history. And speaking on the subject of voting, we are having a voting campaign starting in this community. Please, if you know anyone from ages of 16 that need to register to vote, please, I'm giving you my phone number. I will come to them and help to register. Every time you see me, I'm going to be begging you, praying, because our ancestors died for this right to vote. So please honor their legacy. I learned today that for those who register at 16, they can vote, but they're eligible to be judges, election judges. So if you know anybody,
which is paid,
you know, they get paid. So if you know anybody from 16 and above, you can register them to vote. They can't vote, but they can be election judges. And the other thing is, if they trying to get scholarship money, your state representatives look at that. So please, folks, honor our legacy, respect those who died for us to vote. Please register to vote, but more importantly, get to the polls. You can register to vote, but the best part is going there and casting that vote. Thank you. See, I can do 2 minutes.
Thank you. So Ms. Deborah, she's gonna, as she leaves, she has to leave a little early, but she's gonna join us virtually because she doesn't know that I was gonna talk about her later on in this meeting. But she's gonna join virtually so she can hear what I had to say about her.
Okay.
Or y'all can tell her. Okay, so next, I just want to, we have another pitch that needs to go out. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this young lady, but she was the one who left me hanging with having to run this meeting because she wanted to go ahead and get a bigger, better job. But Janelle,
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
There you go.
There's no job better than this one. But in the spirit of voting, how many folks in here are not registered to vote? Nobody want to tell themselves? Perfect. So that means we can count on you to vote because we want to speak about civic engagement over politics. Whether you vote or not, things are going to happen. So you may as well be a part of it. Vote for what you want so you don't get what you didn't even consider. Next Tuesday, there's going to be a bus for the 41st District Night in Annapolis. That bus is going to leave from the JCC at 5700 Park Heights Avenue at 4:30 to take folks down to Annapolis so they can see a part of what's going on. There was already a District 40 night, but if you all are interested, you can reach out to me. I'll make sure my contact information is provided so you can find out about the details. There's also a flyer. Oh, they don't have the QR code on there, but the official flyer has a QR code where you can register. There are 50 seats on the bus. There's one that's going to leave from the JCC and another large bus that will leave from Edmondson Avenue. So if you want a close bus, make sure you sign up for the bus that's leaving from the JCC at 5700 Park Heights. The other thing that I want to talk to quickly is the importance of advocacy. Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Janelle Johnson Momani, Park Heights Renaissance, legislative affairs, but also community engagement. Community engagement was my initial role, and you can't stop being a person who's connected to the community. Once it took me a year to gain y'all's trust, I was like, well, now I gotta stay. Because y'all are some hard folks to convince. Like, what you want? What you need? What you doing? And then once y'all see that people are really about what they say, then it's all love. And we're at the all love phase. We're going to keep it all love. And we're doing some great things in Park Heights. How many of you have seen that the library is being built in the 4800 block of Park Heights? It's been 15 years.
Longer than that. And a lot of fighting in Annapolis.
A lot of fighting in Annapolis, a lot of fighting in Baltimore City. One of the main champions to make sure that that library came to pass or is now being built again is our very own Vice President, Councilwoman Middleton. So there were people behind the scenes, in front of the scenes that made that happen, and we can all enjoy it because of their efforts. If we don't vote, we don't vote for people who have our best interests. The people who do vote get to make those decisions. So I'm encouraging you to make sure you exercise your right to vote. The primary, I believe, I don't know the date, but I know it's mid-June. So make sure you vote. Read up on all the issues. I am going to be conducting some advocacy 101 workshops. Ms. Deborah, I'm going to call on you in 2 seconds because you can go and make your voice heard in Annapolis. You can testify. You can submit written testimony because all of that is important. The legislative session is very short. It goes from January until April. But during that time, there are opportunities where your voice needs to be heard. One of our very own community members, she's right here in this room, Ms. Deborah Wolford. She went to Annapolis this session and she made her voice heard. Did I miss anybody else who was in Annapolis?
Ms. Wiseman's here.
Ms. Wiseman is here as well. But I know a little something about Ms. Wiseman. She wants to be a powerful person with the pen. So we have the talkers, we have the writers. Both are equally important, right? So how many of you have ever been interested in testifying in Annapolis? Well, that's my job to convince you because it's a good thing. They are humans. It's like, what's your name again? Alicia. Alicia is your state delegate. All you got to do is say, hi, Alicia. You know what? I have that same shirt. Yeah, I would like for you to support Park Lane Playground to get funding. We've been trying to get it for 10 years. Alicia is a human. You're only talking to another human, right? That's all that is. Ms. Deborah, what was your experience like testifying in Annapolis?
Come up front.
Oh, you do? Oh, I'm so sorry for the people at home. Right. You're gonna get your video.
Saying she forgot.
The bunch of seaboard.
So you know they can hear Mr. Board, but we're gonna bring her up front so you can see her pretty face.
You're given 2 minutes to speak when you're in Annapolis. Mr. Bora, what was your experience like in Annapolis when you testified?
I have a patch right here that says that I was given the opportunity to speak for voiceless. That's what you do when you go down to Annapolis. You give a voice to those who cannot speak for themselves, who does not have the confidence to stand before those folks that try to take their rights and dignity away. That's what you give when you go down to Annapolis. You speak for those who can't speak for themselves, who has the right to be heard. But unfortunately, they're not as loud as I am, so they send me instead. But that's okay too, because I'm for it. But again, if you can, join us, pray for us. Don't do anything else, keep us in prayer. That's all I can say.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Board.
I didn't know I was going to call on her, but I knew
I'm
that.
always every episode ready, my pastor said.
That's right. And what she didn't say was, what she said to those folks at her closing was, I want to make sure that I'm advocating for those who are young because they will be able to vote one day. That resonates because they know that one day they will be voting for them, right? And then maybe some of you are interested in running for office. How many people in here are running for office? I was about to say one hand better raise up because I know. So, and if you can't see the change, then be the change. Each one of us is equipped with the skills and the ability to learn about an issue and advocate for it. We need as many voices as we can. And if we could pack a room in Annapolis with this many bodies supporting the same issues, it will make a powerful statement. So again, see me if you'd like to find out about the bus for next Wednesday, March 25th for 41st night. There's going to be food, there's going to be fun. You'll find out about issues. And also see me if you want to sign up for the advocacy workshops. But if we've collected your phone number, I'm also going to send out information about that. Okay?
Thank you. Now, see, we had Park Heights down in Annapolis. We had Park Heights, and we're everywhere. We're everywhere all the time. So as we move along, I'm trying to keep y'all on time here. I feel like somebody's passed it. I want to start the next segment as we acknowledge some of our community events. It's the next thing. Okay. Well, you can leave it there. So. We want to acknowledge some of our Park Heights legends. There have been so many women, and this is not to take away from men, you all. Like, we understand and appreciate all the work that men have done in our country, in our city, and in this community. But mainly just because this is Women's History Month, we're focused on acknowledging women, and many of whom were in the background, and people didn't even know they were doing the work, so they didn't always get recognition. But in order to start that, I need to tell you guys about an amazing woman leader in the Park Heights community. Vice President Sharon Green Middleton has represented Baltimore's 6th district since 2007. Throughout her tenure, she's united diverse neighborhoods by fostering strategic partnerships, providing essential resources, and attentively addressing constituent concerns. She attributes her dedication to her grandmother, who installed in her the importance of giving back. Currently, she serves as Baltimore City Council Vice President and was the 2020 President of the Maryland Association of Counties, making history as the first African American from Baltimore City, not woman, but African American, period, from Baltimore City in that role. Her leadership extends to several key positions: Vice Chair of the Land Use and Transportation Committee, ex officio member of the Baltimore City Women's Commission. She's an active member of the Morgan State University Alumni Association, and moreover, she's involved with several organizations. I could name them all. Many of you who know Council Vice President know that list. We could be here a while. Vice President Middleton's dedication is clear in her work to improve life for her residents. Her leadership is marked by inclusivity, transparency, and deep community engagement. As a visionary leader, she finds innovative solutions to constituent challenges and remains pivotal to Baltimore's progress. Her work inspires future generations to strive for change, leaving a legacy of empowerment, resilience, and a commitment to justice and equity for all. So with that, I would like Council Vice President Middleton to come up and say a few words to you. Jasmine's always here, but today we get the VP herself. We couldn't acknowledge Women's History Month if it were not to talk about this woman, because she's just done so many things for Park Heights.
Thank you. Oh, hello, everybody. I was sitting in the back, just kind of reminiscing, really, when I first started 2007, and look around in this room. And back then there were, maybe 10, 12 people around. Just, look at the room now. And that just shows how Park Heights is really on the move, has expanded. It wasn't just me, it was a number of people that work together. There's Park Heights has so much history, and my main goal was to make sure that Park Heights was known at City Hall, because I look back, there's so many pieces that were missing, so this community could get some strong recognition and attention. And all the things that you have heard that, I have done and continue to do, that has been part of my advocacy. And, I listened, and when you talked about going to Annapolis, it's more important now than ever. We have to start not just showing up, but teaching each other the 3 forms of government and and you can go testify in all 3 areas. I need you down at City Hall to testify bills. There was one good example and everybody knows that Bill 66, and how watching that maneuvering of that bill at City Hall, and if I didn't do what I did, and I kind of sat back and watched and listened, because many of you know that's what I am. I'm a good listener, and then I react after I listen and form all my things together. There were several meetings on that bill, and then I knew the time that I was supposed to be the one to speak up and talk about how that bill would affect legacy homeowners here, Ashburton, all parts of my district, and through the entire city. And the interesting piece about that, when I mentioned Black legacy homeowners, I don't know if some of you follow my face was on the front page, and I know it was because I said that word. And we have not just elected officials, but all of us have to be smart and strong to start saying that, because if you look around, things are changing. People, and a lot of this has to do with what's going on in DC. And I purposely maintain my membership, and I'm on the board of directors for the Maryland Association of Counties, where I once was the president. I still serve on that board, not representing Baltimore City, but representing the state. I serve on the National Association of Counties. These are organizations for council members and some counties called commissioners. And
Can you tell them about 66?
And I kind of speeded up, but thank you for putting me back to 66. But that bill, we already have problems with group homes that we don't have control over. And so one will pop up on your block or a block somewhere in the city, and we can't do anything about it because it's a federal mandate. This bill would, in my eyes, would have made that even worse. It's all about trying to get a hold of our zoning. And speaking about zoning and how Park Heights is going through changes, it's my goal to make sure the city is connected with Park Heights Renaissance, so we know how these vacant properties are being sold and know who they're going to, because we don't want them to disrupt the positive progress that's happening now. The progress is going to happen on that 17 acres around the library. Right. The progress that's just going to, happen throughout all of our communities. And all of these organizations that spoke first, they are truly a part of that progress. You heard how some of these organizations now are going to have their own buildings and spots. And Catherine's Family Youth Services, I remember the first day we met and went on, they invited me on it was a small group of teenagers, and they invited me on a trip to DC, and when the African American Museum opened, we took those children to DC, and what of an experience. And I knew that was one of the first organizations I was going to help, because I saw the need And these are the kind of connections and partnerships that we just got to continue to talk about. There's so much I could say of what is going on in City Hall right now, and I'm just thankful that you continue to have the faith in me to represent you all and represent District 6. I love this district. I live in it as well, and I want to continue to keep that progress going, especially in Park Heights, which is the center of the district. The last census, I don't know if you know, but they added some more communities. I now also have part of Howard Park and also part of Medfield and Hose Heights. And in Howard Park, I have that new building that they're getting ready to turn into a arts building and theater and everything. And Yolanda Jiggets and I are already talking on how to connect all the neighborhoods to that resource. They have things like that over on the east side, northeast. We want to connect that building so it's reaching most of 21215 with the same kind of thing. So they've been working on it for like the last 5-6 years and nothing has moved. And I'll just take it as, okay, we'll get Sharon Middleton on it, and she'll help to get things moving.
Well, we got a library coming in.
But yeah, and we also have the Park Heights Library. That's a historical library that's one of the first, if not the first in the city, that's having a massive renovation. Because it's historical, they have to figure out how they're going to renovate that building, but they're adding a whole section to it, again, where people can rent out and do all kinds of other things in it. So things are pretty moving in my district, and I'm pretty excited. But you see how long it's been taking. Look how long I've been around, and it's still, things are finally starting to come to fruition because I stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
So the next person I've been asked to talk about, since we're talking about legacy and people. So I have seen Yolanda in different, this is Yolanda Jiggets I'm going to talk about for a minute, of Park Heights Renaissance.
Our illustrious leader, our CEO.
Yes. And I have seen Yolanda work through government. She's worked in Rec and Park, she's worked in housing, she's been in leadership roles throughout government. I mean, top level roles. She was deputy of in Rec and Parks or
public safety.
She's just been in everything. And then she also was a leader in some other nonprofits. She left Bon Secure as the chief of staff to come here in the role for Park Heights Renaissance. I've been a board member of the Renaissance since I've been basically on the council. And many of you probably know that Park Heights Renaissance went through several leaders, directors or CEOs, whatever name you want to use. We've been through several. And she was hired when that organization was almost dissolved, believe it or not. And she came and took on that responsibility, not only because of her expertise in what she does, but because she also has a vested interest in this community. With her growing up here, she still has family here. And then all of that together, I picked up right away, okay, here's another woman that cares about people and this community, and just she was on it. We clicked right away, our conversations were exactly the same. But she also came in it when people were having conversations like, where's that racetrack money going? Where all kinds of stories came about that really were not true stories. And she knew that there had to be some kind of media blitz. There had to be just getting out that information. Having meetings like this, she really started and knew the importance of having meetings like this to keep that correct information going. And, that is so important if you understand the way the media is happening now and how we we have to tell our own stories. And this is just, she knew that. And I added the piece because of my connections with the Maryland Association of Counties, the National Association of Counties. For the first, she came to one of our conferences last summer and actually did a workshop session on what's going on in Park Heights. Something that has never been done before. Because now, when you start doing stuff like that, people around the state are going to be interested. And that's how she's also able to get more grant money. She, because I belong to the National Association of Counties, for the National Association of Counties, I am the only person in the state that is on the board of directors with other council members around the country. So I have a role around the country as a council member. And my goal is to get Park Heights in that mix around the USA. Everything that we're doing here, people, is so much positive stuff. People in other states want to know what we're doing and how we're doing it. And if it wasn't for how Yolanda and I click and keep things moving like this, we wouldn't be where we are, because this is how you get more money into your community. And now with the racetrack being built, she has positioned herself and some of our residents on those boards. Never happened before. What I'm trying to continue to say, it's about partnerships. It's about the positivity with all of us. Everybody in this room has a certain skill, and tell us what those skills are so we can mesh it into what we're doing. We need to do that now more than ever, because believe it or not, there are still people out there that wants to slow down Park Heights and wants to not see us succeed as a Black community. They don't want to see it. And I'm here to continue to protect our legacy homeowners, whether you're own a home or rent a home, or if you in Park Heights, I want to help and work, and I can't do it alone. And what we're doing today shows that we can't do it alone. So take away your jealousies, get to know who your next door neighbor is. Get to know our schools are going through a renaissance change. Get to know the principals of your school. They need help. Public service in all different forms. It is not like what it used to be. And you need to think about that. Since this is the state elections, I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I know who I'm voting for. And for me, it's people that have connected with me and people that have worked in this community, especially on this side, this southern side that has been needing help and services for a very long time. And if you can't see what's going on, you can talk to me on the side and I'll tell you what's going on. But this election is just so important for the 41st and 40th district. Please read up on all the candidates, and also, look at your state central committee candidates as well. I'm going to just blurb this out, but
Wait,
I'm
nervous right now.
well, I want to tell the story because it's right. I'm in a different place in myself right now. Many of you know I lost my husband 2024, November 2024, and we were a couple for 45 years. So that's been a transition in my personal life. And one day, in fact, maybe it's about 3 weeks ago, my son, my only child, came to me. We were at dinner because we have our mother-son dinners, and he said, "Mom, I just want to," and this was like 2 days before you thought, "Mom, I'm going to run for state central committee." I'm like, "What? What you got?" "Well, you see, Dad and you were all in this. What do you expect?" So he put his name in, and so these are and I'm like, I sit back and think, I'm like, oh well, I guess he has watched and saw everything that both of us have been doing together all our lives. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. Anyway, thank you all. I mean, thank you for me, and please keep Yolanda. She has a very hard job, and we don't want people out there want to take her away from us. So we have anytime you see that woman, please thank her for what she is doing in Park Heights, because it's a hard job. It's dealing with so many people, so many different personalities, even the people that are the worker bees in the Park Heights Renaissance, hard workers. I see Phil Leaf here. Please say hi and thank We Are Us, the members of Safe Streets, those people out there giving their lives and helping, and they were also a part of this success. So I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you. Because you give her own segment. But no, the vice president is very busy, and oftentimes she always has a representative here from her office to keep the pulse on things that are going. And we know she's always a call away. But because of her schedule, she's not always able to be here. So I did not want, especially on this here Women's History Month, right? Not to acknowledge our leadership for this particular district, the 6th district. And her work. Now, she did forget to mention Councilwoman Spector, but we also want to lift her up as we think about also women who have made a significant impact in Park Heights. I don't remember how many years Councilwoman Spector sat on the council.
40.
40?
Yeah.
40?
Councilwoman Factor was the longest serving official.
Longest serving. 40 years.
So technically, if we 6
Park
maybe 25.
And Councilwoman Spector can be seen driving that same Buick that she's been driving since I started in city government over 20 something years ago. A little scary. But if you know Councilwoman Spector, you know, like she shows up every all the time, and she's been a huge advocate, even though she represented the 5th district. She was all things Park Heights and continues to serve. She's still on the Park West board. On the Park West board.
with her.
Colleague is, so when I won my race, of course, Park West Medical Center is on one side, on that line. West Belvedere is a line between the 5th and the 6th district. And she said to me, Sharon, you could be on the board because it's she said, so I said, well, do you still want to be a board member? I think you should still be the board. Now, you know what's going on. But at least she asked. She asked and she knew that's that politeness and that you do a colleague. So she still remains a board member, and Park West still you know, I still work with them. In fact, they're getting ready to do a wonderful groundbreaking, they're expanding. Remember, that's an organization, a medical center that has been in this community inside out. They have an AIDS, they were one of the first people to start treating AIDS in the entire city.
And for those of you who were at our meeting last month, we had Hidden Gardens present at our last month's meeting about the services they provide. And then, of course, Mr. Boer, who's also on the board for Park West, has also, you know, talked about the different services and how they provide all of the health services in the community.
Tentatively, June 1st, where it's going to be groundbreaking or ribbon cutting or whatever. That's the tentative date, but that's a powerful move with their expansion and all the other things that they were going to provide health-wise to the community.
So I thank you for that, Vice President Middleton. And I wanted to honor Councilwoman Spector, because 40 years is a long time.
Yeah.
And 40 years in office and then to retire and still show up all the time. And she doesn't even live in the district anymore, but it just kind of, you know, speaks to her commitment to this area. She is everywhere, and behind the scenes, she still continues to fight for Park Heights. She knows all the legislators, so she's shaking trees and finding resources, and still today driving money into Park Heights for improvement. So just wanted to acknowledge her as well. Can we check on the chat? Was anybody? Okay, someone asked for the council.
They did ask for Sharon Middleton's
Jasmine,
information.
can you give the information to be shared for the council vice president?
I just need her contact.
And then I'm gonna have Breon to come up. You want to introduce yourself again? We have new faces this month.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Breon Ozaweku, and I serve as the Community Leadership Performance Manager here at Park Heights Renaissance. So in a nutshell, I am the guy who is working with your neighborhood association leaders, either to build capacity and or to best position your neighborhood association to respond to all the things that would directly impact your quality of life. As the councilwoman said earlier, our CEO, Yolanda Jiggett, she has a very ambitious visions, but also it's going to require all of us, right? And so that's where we are coming in to supplement her efforts to make sure that this is one less thing that they have to worry about. So what I will ask of you is if you are not plugged into your neighborhood association, let's have a conversation. Let's get you back involved because as a neighborhood association leader myself, it is a lot of work. And much like our elected officials, we're usually the ones at the table by ourselves. Also understanding that our neighborhood association leaders are doing this voluntarily. We all are in this community. Community takes all of us. So if I could ask of you, please come off your stoop, attend your next neighborhood association meeting. If you don't know where it is, let's talk offline and I'll make sure you get connected.
Okay. And so that kind of dovetails us into this next piece because the last segment about the formal program before we get into our events and wrap up is we wanted to acknowledge a few of our community leaders, female community leaders, past and present, who have been doing the work at the community level. That work, like Breon mentioned, is something that they take a lot of prep for and do not get paid for. You know, sometimes people think it's like their personal council person for their community, like everything that's wrong, that person should fix it. And we all know how tough that work is. And oftentimes that's falling on folks who don't have a lot of support from the people in that same community. And then also a lot of those people, as you will learn as we talk about several of them, they're getting older. And so as we talk about some of these folks, past and present, we need to also be looking at our own families, looking at yourselves and thinking about what's that look like next. We didn't get to the development stage that we're in Park Heights now overnight. This took decades to get investment coming back here. And we don't want to see it derail. We'll all be gone. Will Park Heights continue to thrive? Well, that's going to depend on the next generation stepping up and understanding what it's like to lead a community association, how to go and testify in Annapolis, how to move and shape things. And we want to make sure as we talk about those folks that have done the work, that are doing the work, that we think about who can do it in the future and start to pass those torches. We have people like Valerie who's doing her work because her grandmother. I'm in public service because of my grandmother. You know, many of us are doing this work and legacy to those that were before us. So let's keep that going.
And I think also one thing to underscore, because when we were thinking about how we were going to roll out tonight in this moment, when you do the history of Park Heights female leadership, it is very few things that come up. The councilwoman will come up, former councilwoman Ricky Spector will come up, Yolanda will come up. I think it's also very important to underscore in this moment that while we celebrate the George Mitchells, he had people like Minerva Eaton in the background. He had people like a Sharon Snow. He had Sharon Spence in the background. So that's what we also want to make sure that we're lifting up those names in this moment, because we always have the face, but it's those people who are behind the scenes, like orchestrating things. So that's also one thing that we want to celebrate in this moment.
So Miss Eaton, Miss Minerva Eaton, she's online. And I tried to get her to come in here, y'all. But Miss Minerva believes in doing the work and not showing her face sometimes. So she said, no, you're not going to make a fuss of me. And I said, yes, I am. But Miss Minerva was an educator first for 41 years. An entire 41 years as an educator, she taught at one school, and that was Bentlow Elementary. That's a very uncommon thing nowadays. Most people are changing jobs every 2 years. For 41 years, she was committed to young people in that one school, and I think that's to be celebrated. She's currently the president of Hilltop 4100 and has been since 2013. In 2006, she started doing community work with her mentor, Helena Hicks, another female Park Heights legend who was a community leader. The boundaries for that community, for those of you who don't know, is Wabash, Northern Parkway, Ricestown, and Hayward. So, you know, when you hear Hilltop, most of you know Hilltop, but just some folks don't take it all the way over to Wabash in their minds. But she's the one over there doing all the work, and her focus has been building business relationships along the Ricestown Road corridor. So while we have we've done a lot on Park Heights, and we're doing a lot on Park Heights with the recent Main Street designation, Miss Minerva is trying to make sure that Ricestown Road doesn't see another mental health clinic, or a substance abuse program, or car shop, like things like that. She's trying to keep the pulse of what's going on, and she's fighting aggressively locally and to Lottie Dottie and everybody to try to just kind of keep that area thriving, and keeping on the work that Ms. Hicks taught her how to do years ago.
So we'll transition into somebody who I can tell you, to Janelle's point, Park Heights, y'all make us go through the rigmarole before y'all open up to us. So a year ago, we started the Community Leadership Council. And there was one particular name I kept hearing when I would go to work. Kelly is somebody who I can definitely look at and say, Kelly, like, I'm thinking of doing this. And she's like, do you know Sharon Snow? You need to know Sharon Snow. She's doing this. She's done these things. I'm like, okay, I'm not getting traction. But when I met Miss Snow, and she was like, okay, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. In this moment, we wanted to celebrate and thank you. She is in the room. So Miss Snow, can you please, I'm sorry, President Snow, can you please stand? One thing that is also remarkable to know about her is that she has been leading community development in this community for over 4 decades. She is a proud president of the Silburn Neighborhood Association. Their community has done some amazing work into understanding how to navigate systems to access resources, whether that means to get a 501c3 set up, navigating that fiscal sponsorship piece. They offer annual scholarships. Can I tell them about what we talked about earlier today? The utility? Okay.
Well, now you're going to tell them.
She is also a thought leader in the sense of understanding the reality of things. For my neighbor association, I waived the dues when BGE went up. Ms. Snow saw the same thing and said, you know what, we're going to offer for the first time a utility assistance program for their residents. So that is the kind of thoughtful person that she is. In addition to that, she also grew up in the Sandtown, Winchester neighborhood. She has a long-standing history as a former educator within the Baltimore City Public Schools. She also was among the first board members for the Pimlico Development Authority. So if you don't know what PCDA is, a lot of what's driving some of the development in our community is by way of the PCDA board. There are some folks inside of here who I know have submitted applications, but definitely I think that's worth noting. So thank you, Ms. Snow, for your continued service and leadership to our community.
Well, since we're talking about Silburn,
Come on.
we're gonna talk about Miss Birdie. I'm sorry, Miss Elizabeth Wiseman. Ms. Wiseman is a respected community leader and civic advocate whose dedication to neighborhood engagement and public service has strengthened the Park Heights community in Northwest Baltimore for decades. Ms. Wiseman, can you just give a quick stand wave? For those who don't know. Thank you. Ms. Wiseman is a resident of Silburn as well, and she has been such for over 60 years. Ms. Wiseman has long been committed to supporting the stability, growth, and well-being of the neighborhood she calls home. From 2011 to 2016, she served as president of the Silburn Community Association, working closely with residents, neighborhood partners, and city agencies to promote civic participation, neighborhood stability, and community pride within the greater Park Heights area. She's also served as an advisor to the Silburn combined communities, supporting collaboration among the three neighborhood associations. Ms. Wiseman further contributed to community development through her service on the board of directors of Park Heights Renaissance from 2013 to 2022, where she served as vice chair and chair of the governance committee. In those roles, she helped guide board leadership, governance practices, strategic initiatives, while supporting the long-term revitalization of the Park Heights community. She was bored, so she said in October 2021, she would go ahead and take the appointment of co-chair to the Pimlico Community Advisory Board, which many of you know as PCAB or have heard of as PCAB, where she works alongside residents, civic leaders, and state partners to ensure the community voices help guide planning and redevelopment efforts related to the historic Pimlico Racecourse and surrounding neighborhoods. This is all the bio kind of background for Ms. Wiseman, but she's one of those community gems that she graduated from Northwestern High School. Like this is home to her, so this work means something. As a legacy resident, she's been involved in just everything Park Heights for decades. So we want to acknowledge you, Ms. Wiseman, for all the great work you do and continue to do. And for coming out of retirement and coming on as a consultant to PHR, again, because we need you. She tried to retire from the board, so we brought her back as a consultant on the payroll. We're not letting her go. But Ms. Wiseman is very instrumental behind the scenes of helping our CEO. She knows everything, a little bit about everything, and a lot about everybody. So she helps us to really keep things moving, and she keeps me in order. Hopefully I don't get in trouble later. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
So shifting back, we were celebrating Park West Health System. So in this moment, we'll celebrate Ms. Janie B. Greer, who is a licensed practical nurse. So she was a pioneer nurse, civic leader, and passionate advocate for community whose work significantly impacted the Park Heights community and Northwest Baltimore. A licensed practical nurse, Ms. Greer dedicated her career to serving residents who often face barriers to quality health care. Living in the Park Heights area, she combined her professional knowledge with grassroots leadership to improve health outcomes for families throughout the community. In the early 1970s, Mrs. Greer helped establish what will become Park West Health System, one of Baltimore's most important community health centers. Beginning as a small neighborhood clinic serving local residents, the organization grew into a vital healthcare institution, providing medical services to thousands of individuals and families across Northwest Baltimore. Through decades of service, she helped guide the organization's mission and growth, eventually serving as president of the board of directors and later being recognized as board member emeritus. It is also worth noting that Mrs. Greer was also deeply committed to neighborhood leadership. She served as a president of the Silburn Community Action, working alongside residents to strengthen civic engagement, neighborhood stability, and community pride within Greater Park Heights. Through her leadership, compassion, and dedication, Janie B. Greer also helped ensure that Park Heights communities would have stronger healthcare resources and a lasting legacy of service. So we lift up Ms. Janie B. Greer in this moment as well.
But they may have lived in Silburn, but they were all over Park Heights, doing the work. It must be something nice with those homes up there.
You want to go or you want to- Okay.
Okay, so next I want to acknowledge Deborah Wolford, who we all know and love. And she left before I could acknowledge her, but she knew I was going to do this, and she told me she will go back and watch the Zoom. Deborah is a respected community development professional and civic leader whose work has contributed significantly to neighborhood revitalization and community empowerment in the Park Heights area and beyond. Decades of experience in nonprofit leadership, Ms. Wolford has worked to strengthen communities through housing development, neighborhood stabilization, and resident engagement initiatives. She has been deeply involved in efforts that support equitable access to housing and economic opportunities for Baltimore residents. Ms. Wolford has held leadership roles with organizations focused on community development and neighborhood investment, helping to guide projects that support affordable housing, community partnerships, and her work has helped improve the quality of life for families in historically underserved communities. If you know Ms. DeBoer, she's one of those people who you can't miss in a room because you're going to hear. But she's also one of those people that will take the shirt off her back to help someone. When she says, "Call me, I'll come to you and get you registered to vote," she means it. She will pull up. She will show up if she says she's coming, and she will help. And that's kind of the way she's gone about her work, her volunteer work. Aside from her work as a social worker, the entire time I've known her. I also was a previous board member of the Park Heights Renaissance before I joined as a staff, and she and I co-chaired a committee on the board of directors. And, I can attest to the time she would even go in her pocket to just say, "Hey, how do we get this done? How can I help?" If someone needed something, she's always trying to figure out how to make a connection and get a resource. And she did all of that. What I didn't know is that she didn't even own her own home. But last year, she bought her first home, though. And so she's an inspiration to me personally. She drives me crazy, and I love her to death all at the same time. But we need the voices of people like Ms. DeBoer because she gets stuff done, and she will not be unheard. So she speaks loud and proud for Park Heights everywhere she goes. And she's done that for a number of years. So we want to lift her up.
Absolutely. So as we come to the close of this segment, there is one person who I'm going to bring up that's going to speak for two people. And that's none other than President Andrea Queen, who has relaunched the Park Circle Neighborhood Association.
You're going to be able to get through this, Ms. Queen.
We got you. We got you.
I want to talk about my mother-in-law, Miss Margaret Smith. She wasn't a community leader, but she was our community mother to everyone. In Park Heights, she owned her home. She lived there for over 50 years in that same house in the 3700 block of Park Heights. She raised 4 sons and 2 daughters, all of their children, and the children in the next block, and the next block over, and the next block over, and up the street and around the corner. She was my peace. We were always close. But I lost my son in March of 2021. She lost my father-in-law in April of 2021. And so the bond was thicker than it was at first. But she was loud and spoke her mind, but she was Park Heights. we had embarked on a journey of getting our four square, not neglecting the rest of our neighborhood, but our four square of a neighborhood, which we call Candy Stripe, is the playground within those four: Violet, Spring Hill, the 3700 block of Park Heights, the 3700 block of Cottage Avenue. We had a playground and a basketball court out there that hadn't been redone in 25 years. We've seen a lot of children, a lot of families, a lot of everything out there that we lived through and were coached through, not just by her, but her husband, who we lost in April also. We started that, well, after we lost our loved ones, we were like, let's try to talk to them about getting our playground and the basketball court done, and to get our playground renamed back to Candy Stripe, because they started calling it Cottage Avenue Park. We've all known it as Candy Stripe all our lives. We lived right there. It was called Candy Stripe. So my mother-in-law, we're at City Hall, and she pulls up, Councilwoman Middleton, this is not our playground name, and we need you to get it named back. And so she was kind of getting on Miss Middleton's nervous about it. Everywhere she seen her, she just, we wasn't even on that. And she, did you talk to them about getting the playground renamed back? And so while Miss Middleton was working on that, we had a meeting with Brandon and I'm sorry, Mayor Scott, because I call him that. Mayor Scott and senators and councilmen people. We invited them to see the playground, and they came out to see the playground. We played basketball with them out there before the renovations of the playground. So while doing all this, they're trying to get her to step up and be the community leader. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. Now she has 3 daughter-in-laws, but I'm gonna get her. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I'll be your backbone, but that's not something I want to do. But we were already doing it every day since the day that my father-in-law passed away, April the 4th of 2021. We had cookouts every day because there was so many children we saw there who weren't eating. So we was out of our own pocket feeding these kids every day. Some of these kids, we never even saw their parents or anything. So we just embarked on that. And so then we just started having cookouts, and we was giving away food and back to school drives, and we just started doing all kinds of stuff. So after my mother-in-law passed away in 2024, I get a call from these people. Especially. I didn't even know who he was. And we were just talking, and he was like, I want you to come to this meeting. And I was like, all right, I'm coming. So I'll go up in there. And when I go in, it's all of the Park Heights community leaders. And this is a leadership meeting. And they're like, well, you might as well, Brianna, step up, because you're already doing the work. And you already had all of these constituents at your playground. Oh, I'm sorry. And we did get a new playground and a new basketball. I'm sorry. After the renaming, and
we got to rename.
We got to rename and the dedication and the ribbon cutting. I had a big old basketball game out there. Ms. Middleton came to play. Mayor Scott, Antonio Hayes, they all came out, and it was amazing. 2 Candy Stripe. And we had a big old basketball game out there with all of them. And so it was great, and the experience and this journey that I'm on is amazing, because these, outside of my 4 squares, I haven't been the president since November. And I've walked the neighborhood from Park Circle to Spring Hill, Ricestown, and Cottage is my area. I never paid attention to what was really happening around there, because I'm just this is what I'm zoned into. But now, when I walk the neighborhood, I knock on doors and I ask questions about why is this and how long has this been like this? Because we haven't had a president in 5 or 6 years. So it's a lot. So I'm on his phone. What should I do about this? And who I'm gonna call about this? And why is this like this? And now 311, my phone number pop up. They just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, Miss Queen." But I don't care because I'm gonna call them and I'm learning just like different stuff. Like I'm on 311. Why, if the fire people put this out, why they put the stuff out there? Why they didn't get it up? And it's like, no, I'm gonna call him. I've called landlords and property owners, and all of this is new to me. And I just keep telling them, like, I'm new to this. Just tell me what okay. And it's not as hard as I think. I thought it was gonna be. And I'm not a talker until I lost my son, is when I got this voice. And so now I want to see no piled up trash in the alleys. You know what I mean? And no abandoned houses with flooding other people's houses that I had no idea because my house was not getting flooded. And if I didn't know, if this weren't me, you know what I mean? But now it's me. And I have to help these people to get better or feel better about their neighborhoods, like with trash. And the gentleman from Clean and Green. I've been talking to because my brother, Margaret Smith's son, Kenna, he works for Clean and Green. So we're talking, and he is, sis, we was in the alley, you were just talking about, and it's a mess, but it's okay. They went down there and cleaned those alleys for me. And so
Shout out to Clean and Green.
And so now that I'm on this journey, I meet so many different people and we talk about so many different things. That I came here without my book today. I just came back from out of town. My mom was in the hospital. It's just been, and I went in the house and fell asleep. And my mom was like, you gotta meet anybody. So I jumped up, left my book on the table, of course, because I never go anywhere without my writing thing because I want to be able to write down names and numbers and contacts. So I'm actually having my second meeting the end of this month. And now I have more people who will say, I'm coming to the meeting because not only am I just walking through, I'm knocking on doors. Like, I want you to come to my meeting, and I'm building my association for Punk Circle. And I'm almost there. And just, you guys keep me in prayer, pray for me.
Working, mind you.
Yes, I do security for the state. And I work with children with disabilities. And then I work with these children in our neighborhood who knock on my door, like, because I give away clothes and shoes, and I pay phone bills and bought uniforms. I mean, just everything. No, not true. Yours probably more than that $50 that I'm using. They pay that shit. Oh, my meeting is March the
I have it in my calendar.
26th. The last Thursday. At 3939 Ricestown Road from 5:30 to 7:30. Please join me if you can. This is 3939 Ricestown Road in the community.
First floor.
If y'all want to put my email, it's aqueen36@gmail.com.
And we wanted to close out because Miss Queen is one of those Park Heights history in the making right now.
Definitely.
Yes, it's because we kind of got pushed into it a little bit.
Yeah, just a
but
little bit.
these are the kinds of things we need to see more of in our community. People stepping up where there are neighborhood associations that have went defunct. And and so you don't have a voice or a group to lobby for your area. If you're in one of those communities, please connect with Breon.
I have business cards.
Yes, we're looking to grow community leaders so that we can really continue the improvements and the hard work and the progress that we're already seeing across all of our heights. So with that, thank you for our Women's History listening to all of the Women's History Park Heights edition. So that's that portion of the meeting, but we're gonna go to our just upcoming events and we can close out, okay?
Yep.
You wanna pick it for me? Look, it takes a village to run a meeting.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Jay Chapman, Marketing Associate with Park Heights Renaissance. We're gonna go through some events that's up and coming, and hopefully y'all show up and support. So first, which is tomorrow, March 19th, there will be a film festival screening for the Park Heights Community Land Trust at St. Ambrose Church, 4502 Park Heights Avenue. Next, hosted by We Our Us, Donuts for Dads. That's on Thursday, March 26th at 9:30 a.m. right here at Park Heights Academy. If you're interested in some self-care, some stretching, this is every Tuesday and Thursday throughout the month of March. They usually are recurring, so it might be one in April too, but for now, throughout the month of March, 4151 Park Heights Avenue, and it's hosted by Park Heights Community Health Alliance. Another event from Park Heights Community Health Alliance, this is the Healthy Heart Ambassador Program, lowering your blood pressure, focusing on your health, and that's March 26th from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. This is also from Park Heights Community Health Alliance. This is their 4th annual mindfulness conference. This is for all facilitators, and the deadline to apply is March 26th. Another event from Park Heights Community Health Alliance. They're trying to get y'all self-care together. You can show up on March 28th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. They'll have a plethora of different things to help you with self-care. Another event from Park Heights Community Health Alliance, that's on March 28th, a family art wellness session. So bring your family. It's from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Another event from We Our Us with a bunch of other community associations. This is for boys. So Boys to Men. We must unite one family. So unity. That's on March 30th, and that's at 5 p.m. at the Langston Hughes Community Center. Spring into early learning. This is hosted by Holy Nativity Polly Mary Episcopal. I'm sorry. I promise I can read. That's at 4236 Pimlico Road. And that's for ages newborns on up. So y'all got babies. I'm not. This is ongoing. The deadline is April 17th. This is the Congressional Art Competition. Submit all your art to Kwesi and Fumi's office. Fall Staff in Bloom. This is a brunch gala to celebrate 75 years of educational excellence and community impact for Fall Staff Elementary Middle School. It's on April 25th from 11:30 to 3:30, 3801 Fall Staff Road. We always have the Agri-Hub Baltimore Food Hub. That's every Thursday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Fresh produce. Langston Hughes also has a food pantry Fridays. Every other Friday. We do have the dates listed here. The next one is on March 20th. So that's this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Thursday. Okay. Make sure y'all show up. Spring break camp.
Friday.
Oh, that's Friday. Okay, Friday. My bad. I didn't mean Thursday. Yeah, Friday. To the day. Don't pay attention to me. Okay. Spring break camp. That's from ages 5 to 13, 8:30 to 5:30 p.m. You can go on the Recs and Parks social media account and you'll find more information there. Stop the Beef hotline. We always have the Stop the Beef hotline. If you're in any trouble and you don't feel comfortable contacting the police, please reach out to either of these numbers for help, 443-431-3705 or 443-522-7848.
And next, we're back with the I Got 5 on it challenge. With farmers, you're not just donating.
She might look familiar, you guys.
They were star. So that's our I Got 5 on the challenge. If you guys want to donate 5, any small amount equals a big impact once it's all together. So, and y'all part of the podcast community family, whether you like it or not.
They love it.
They love it. I believe y'all love it. So you can stay in touch with us here. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, PHR Renaissance or PH Renaissance for Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and Parkhouse Renaissance on LinkedIn. You can subscribe to our Eventbrite below for event updates. And don't forget, George Spider Anderson Festival is coming up. So if you're interested in being a vendor, please click the link in our bio to apply.
One more thing, Kate. We need, for those of you who may have events that are going on, I know we have people in the room that reach out to me by phone and different things at the very last minute. Hey, can I say something at your meeting tonight? No, can you send us the flyer for that event ahead of time so we can have it loaded, we can share it with the folks at home, and so that we can plan for it also, of course, within our time frame to try to keep us to time, right?
Yes.
Jade, if you could let them know where to send that information.
Yes, you can email PHR Communications not PHR. Sorry, communications@phrmd.org. Sorry about that, y'all. Communications@phrmd.org.
And if we'll get in touch with you and let you know if it's an event. We do have some monitoring that has to be done there. But we do try to share those community events, especially the community festivals, resource fairs, and things like that. If you want us to help push the word out, and these attachments will be in the recording, which will be uploaded for you all if you want to go back and see any portion of this. But also, where else is it posted?
Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and the meeting will be on YouTube. So anything that's a meeting will be right on our YouTube, so you'll be able to recap it.
And all of these flyers will be a part of the recording as well. So I know folks sometimes ask, how do I capture something that you weren't able to jot down while you were here? And then if all else fails, call our office.
Yes.
You send us an email, and we will make sure you get the information you need.
Yes, all the community events will be posted. They're posted weekly on our weekly roundup, usually around a Wednesday or Thursday. So if you don't forget to email us, just send it to our Instagram and I'll make sure it's on there.
All right. And with that, I feel like we're about to wrap up our meeting on time as scheduled. Did everybody have a good time?
Yeah.
Folks at home or in the cars, wherever you are, did you enjoy yourself?
Yes.
Yay. So we're so glad you were able to come out tonight. We'll resume again next month, third Wednesday of the month. We hope to see you there. It'll be 6:00. Location should be determined. But thanks again for coming out. If you didn't sign in, please make sure we capture that information. Data is how we keep the dollars moving. It's how we keep